The wind arrives first, not as a sound but as a pressure, an invisible force that scrapes across the skin and pulls the warmth from your breath. It moves unchecked, unhindered by trees, cities, or life. Here, the wind has never learned how to stop. This is a place that should not exist. A desert carved into the heart of Antarctica. No snow, no ice on the ground, no visible life. The land stretches outward in naked rock and frozen soil, sculpted by cold rather than heat, shaped by time rather than water. Mountains rise like broken teeth, their flanks stripped bare by katabatic winds that descend from the polar plateau with relentless fury. These winds scream down at hurricane speed, evaporating moisture before it can settle, erasing snow as quickly as it falls. In this frozen continent of ice, this valley refuses to freeze. The air is so dry it feels sharpened. Each breath steals moisture from your lungs. Your lips crack, your skin tightens. The silence presses inward until even your thoughts feel too loud. There is no hum of insects, no birdsong, no rustle of leaves. Just wind, stone, and an emptiness so complete it feels intentional. This is one of the driest places on Earth. Rain is a rumor, snow is a stranger. Liquid water is a rare and temporary miracle. The ground has not known rain for millions of years. The rocks underfoot are ancient, older than the first trees, older than most animal life. They tell a story written before memory, before voice, before anything had eyes to see them. Volcanic basalt lies exposed, dark and scarred, cracked by temperature swings that punish the land daily. Sunlight burning during endless summer days, followed by sudden plunges into lethal cold. In this place, time does not pass the way it does elsewhere. It accumulates. Glaciers loom at the valley's edges, massive rivers of ice that paradoxically feed a land that refuses water. When the sun rises high enough in summer, melting begins, not flowing freely, but bleeding slowly. Thin streams carve narrow channels through gravel and salt-crusted earth, existing for weeks before freezing again into stillness. These meltwater streams are the lifeblood of an ecosystem so fragile it survives on moments. Where water touches the soil, colour emerges. Rust reds, burnt oranges, muted greens. Microbial mats bloom briefly, ancient organisms whose ancestors reshaped Earth's atmosphere billions of years ago. They photosynthesize in silence, converting sunlight into survival, thriving where nothing else can. They do not grow quickly, they endure. In some places, ice-stained cliffs seep crimson. Blood falls, iron-rich water leaks from beneath a glacier, oxidizing as it meets air, spilling red across white ice like an open wound. The water has been sealed in darkness for millions of years, isolated from the surface world, harboring microbial life that survives without sunlight or oxygen. Life here does not obey familiar rules. This valley feels less like Earth and more like a memory of another planet. The sky is vast and pale, stretching endlessly without cloud or moisture. The sun circles without setting, casting long shadows that never disappear. The landscape feels unfinished, as though creation paused and never returned. There are no animals walking the ground, no plants reaching upward, no sound beyond the wind's low roar. Yet life persists, hidden, microscopic, patient. Beneath translucent rocks, organisms shelter from ultraviolet radiation. Inside salty brines trapped within ice, bacteria remain active at temperatures that would freeze blood solid. In pockets of liquid trapped by salt, life survives at -20 degrees, rewriting what survival means. The cold is absolute, but it is not empty. This place teaches a brutal lesson. Life does not need comfort, it needs time. The valleys are framed by towering peaks, their faces etched by erosion that works not through rain, but through ice crystals and wind-driven sand. The land looks flayed, raw, exposed, honest. Nothing hides here. Every fracture is visible, every scar is permanent. Standing here feels like trespassing. Human presence is minimal, transient, almost disrespectful in its fragility. Footprints linger for decades, untouched by rain or vegetation. Even the smallest disturbance leaves a mark that may outlive its maker. This is a landscape that remembers everything. At night, if night ever truly arrives, the temperature drops sharply, The wind stiffens, the air hardens, metal becomes brittle, breath crystallizes instantly. The cold is not dramatic, it is methodical, it infiltrates, it claims. In this silence, you become aware of your own impermanence. The dry valleys have existed largely unchanged for over 14 million years. While continents shifted, ice ages rose and fell, and civilizations bloomed and vanished elsewhere, this land remained locked in its own version of eternity. It is one of the most stable landscapes on the planet. And yet, it is constantly under threat, not from storms or earthquakes, but from warmth, from the slightest shift in climate, a degree too much, a melt too far. If ice retreats too quickly, ancient systems collapse, brines dilute, microbial habitats vanish. A balance perfected over geological time dissolves in decades. Here, change is catastrophic. This valley mirrors a future many fear, a world stripped of moisture, of abundance, of complexity. A planet reduced to its skeleton. It is why scientists come here quietly, cautiously. Why every movement is measured. Why samples are taken sparingly. This land is not studied to be conquered, but to be understood. It holds answers not just to Earth's past, but to its possible futures. Mars echoes here. The soil chemistry, the dryness, the cold, the isolation. Robotic instruments are tested in these valleys before being sent across millions of kilometers into space. If life ever existed on Mars, it may have looked like this, small, hidden, stubborn, clinging to the edges of possibility. Standing in this desert, Earth feels alien. There is beauty here, but it is severe. No softness, no forgiveness. The colors are muted, the shapes harsh, the silence overwhelming. It demands attention. It does not invite comfort. This is not a place to visit. It is a place to witness. As the sun dips low and skims the horizon, light stretches across the valley, igniting rock faces in gold and shadow. The wind slows briefly, as if exhaling. The land remains indifferent. It does not care that it has been seen, and perhaps that is its power. In a world increasingly shaped by human hands, this valley remains beyond us, untouched, unbothered, unmoved. It stands as proof that Earth does not need us to exist, to endure, to persist. We are visitors in a story already billions of years old. And as the cold settles once more and the wind resumes its endless march, the valley waits, silent, ancient, and patient, for a future it has already survived countless times before.